Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 399 of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Becky, the owner, is here in Florida for a couple of weeks and enjoying some time at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, finally able to travel after over a year.
It's really amazing. So it's nice to see her back. And the agents at MEI are Disney experts and can help guide you through various aspects of your trip, mostly to Walt Disney World still, but pretty soon Disneyland should be opening to out-of-state guests.
And as we talked about last week, the Disney Wish debuting next year. So
a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
And so we sent our reporter in California to both Disney California Adventure, which we talked a little bit about last week, and Disneyland on a separate day. And you can see here there were quite a few guests in line, although it didn't take very long to get through.
Well, last time when he went on opening day, he was able to park in the garage. But when he showed up this morning, bright and early, the garage was not open, the Disneyland garage. So he found a local hotel, and he entered on the other side over here, the Harbor Boulevard entrance. And at first he thought it was going to be a really long wait, but actually everything went through pretty quick. And he was able to get through temperature check, and he was in the park early, about quarter of.
And it looks so nice here in the Esplanade. I miss Disneyland, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've mentioned, as soon as they say,
as soon as we're allowed, we're going to plan that trip.
And plan it for very soon.
Although I feel like I have been to Disney California Adventure and Disneyland talking to my good friend here, our correspondent, and sort of editing all this stuff and really getting a feel. I almost felt like I was there, but obviously not quite the same.
Well, it's not we want to go to Lamplight Lounge and, do all the fun stuff in Blue Bayou when that reopens.
So you could see they still did have some cast members waving and welcoming you, and not quite the amount as they did on the very first day, as he showed at the DCA last week.
And this was on May the 4th, and so it was 4 days after opening, because April 30th was the reopening day.
That's right. So that's why you might see a lot of Star Wars dressed guests, as you could see right there.
Yes, May the 4th be with you. So anyway, here is a look down Main Street, USA. They have the the omnibus and the various transportation also running, which is nice. We don't have that here because we have the cavalcades and such.
And we're looking at some of the shops. You could see the Penny Arcade is closed, and some of the other shops are closed as well. And I did find out you can't walk through the shops from one shop to another all the way on from Main Street like you used to. Each store has its own separate entrance and exits.
And one of my favorite ways to go down Main Street is on the omnibus to be able to really get that great view.
Which is what he's doing. That is a view from the first floor of the omnibus.
Is it? But I like the second, on top. And also the Tomorrowland entrance looked really nice. So there was a wishing well, and here we are to the side of Sleeping Beauty Castle. It looked like a perfect day.
It really did. And he says it was a perfect day. It was a wonderful day. One of the longest lines, of course, was for the new Snow White's Enchanted Wish, which is the reimagined dark rides from the old Snow White's Scary Adventures.
Yes. So there is the Evil Queen, who still does figure into the attraction, but it's a much more lighthearted adventure now. And they still consider Snow White's Enchanted Wish an original attraction. It's just been updated, to new adventure.
Yeah, and very much technical updates too, kind of like what they did with Alice. I think it's brighter and it's more with the modern times.
I have all that information that I'm going to be sharing, but we're walking through the queue right now, so it really looks very nice.
It's peaceful. You have the birds. It's it used to be a dungeon, with skeletons and things. So what a difference.
And even the queue, they re-recorded the queue, so that's a little bit different as well. But there is actually a lot different in the attraction. What did surprise me as we're walking through the queue is that, the Evil Queen was still part of it. It isn't like they just made it lighthearted. They still had the scary element because that is, part of the story.
And I like this little touch that we're about to see. My friend happened to be panning and showing the ride vehicles, and he noticed like little silhouettes going on behind one of the windows. We're about to show that. I thought that was a nice little touch here in the queue line.
And there it is. And there is. I thought that was really fun too. And I don't know if he recorded it both times. I think he just recorded the first time.
Yeah, the second time he was actually quickly put into his vehicle, so he wasn't able to get it. But hey, you know what? I can't complain. He did a great job. Awesome job. Thank you very much.
So there are some new scenes, but there's also new music and 50 new animal and figure sculpts. And I thought it was, it has the same kind of feel to it, at least from what we're seeing. But like now we have this dancing Snow White. There's at least a few different scenes. And so it's really quick to look through it. Like I'm looking at the video here. But there's new shadow projections, new laser projections. There are, I mentioned the new scenes including the dwarf's cottage. That includes the dancing figure of Snow White. There's really quite a bit. And what we see looks fantastic, but I know in person it will look even better.
And I would be okay if this treatment happened on a Mr. Toad or Pinocchio. Especially Pinocchio is so dark, and this ride was dark.
Looks.
And again, yeah, everything is bright. It's modern. It just it looks great.
It looks, this especially. There's like black light features and. That, especially where the queen is, looks amazing.
Yeah, and I think there's fiber optics involved in some of these scenes too. It does remind me of Alice, what they did with Alice, like right here, with the projections. It really comes alive.
And I think, I really enjoy their Fantasyland because there's so many different attractions. You have, he mentioned the Alice in Wonderland, the Mr. Toad, Pinocchio. I mean, there's really even like the train, the Casey Jr. train. Like there's so much to do there. They just like stack the attractions on top of each other. And it's really fun to just kind of hit all those dark rides first thing in the morning because they get a little busy a lot of times later in the day.
And you mentioned the new scene, the big new scene, and here it is right here, Snow White with all the animals, and that's the finale.
And that's it. And so we have it with the music and such.
We have the full video, two
online.
ride-throughs, more extensive look at the queues and everything, and Snow White herself. And I think we're about to see Snow White as we exit the vehicle.
And hopefully in 6+ weeks we will be there ourselves.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Again, it's one thing to watch it on video, but I really want to experience all this. And just to be in Disneyland, I love Disneyland's one of the most relaxing parks I have been to in the world, and I can't wait to get back.
And Imagineer Kim Irvine was, I don't know if she was the lead on that, but she was a big part of bringing that to life.
So we're going to talk about something else that has been refreshed, the King Arthur Carousel here.
The King Arthur Carousel was originally built in 1922, and it was an original Disneyland attraction in 1955. And then there's like a new parchment white canopy. I didn't write about the purple, but that purple I think is new as well. 68 wooden horses are antiques dating back more than 90 years. And no two horses are alike. And there's also gold leaf in that canopy. So like all of the horses have been repainted, and there's all this gold leaf, and just they really updated it very nicely.
Now also in Fantasyland, of course, you can see the Disney princesses. Now here we see Belle. Belle is actually kind of standing distanced out in the area in front of the castle, but there is a dedicated spot for the princesses, and we're going to go into there and see them in a moment.
And that will be at the Royal Theater.
That's correct.
But first we will see Anna and Elsa. There are tons of distanced meet and greets or distance character experiences at the parks.
And there are lines if you want to get a selfie with them or walk up and just take their picture. But at least when my friend was there, the lines weren't very long and they moved very quickly. But of course, all of that can change. Here's Mulan, and we have a Cinderella meeting inside.
And you had said to me that for him, he only he would see guests run up
as the characters first came out. That's when the initial rush, when the guests saw a character, they would come, but it would quickly move through, and then they would just walk up at that point.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to give too many tips in that case because there's going to be more guests coming into the parks, and we've heard that it's even busier already since then.
Right, and there is Rapunzel meeting. So many princesses. I didn't see any princes when my friend was there, but I have seen other coverage that shows the princes with the princesses.
And then also the Royal Theater is actually where I remember when I went out for Mickey and the Magical Map. That was it was a fun show, but the Royal Theater had my favorite shows. The Beauty and the Beast and the Rapunzel were really fun.
And it used to have dancing and all kind. I mean, that's been there since
swing dancing,
right? So forever. And here we have Bert entertaining in the Small World Mall.
That is so fun. I really love, and I've said that here as well. I love the distance meet and greets. We do not have nearly as many as Disneyland has, and they really seem to be enjoying their time there.
Looks like Alice is doing some painting there. They all have a reason to be where they are, and I like that. You know, you feel like there's a reason that they're there. They're not just standing around taking pictures for you.
And I haven't seen all this video yet. There's going to be quite a bit that I have not seen this Alice video, or I had not seen the Bert video yet.
And that's great. I love getting your reaction from the first time. Again, Disneyland does a fantastic job. No cavalcades, but they make up for that by having all these great experiences. And the best is yet to come. Here we are in Mickey's Toontown. We're going to take a quick look. What big building?
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is being built there, but they don't want you to know that there's a building there, so they make sure to put a sign on it. And there's a Jolly Trolley station. I actually saw the Jolly Trolley when it was running around Toontown
and
a long time
I have
ago.
ridden the Jolly Trolley. The Jolly Trolley at one point actually had 2 cars. Remember that? And then they switched it to just 1 car, and then you couldn't ride it anymore.
And I think I may have ridden it back then also. It was like in the 90s.
It kind of went up and down.
Yeah,
it was very jolly.
I have a picture of it. I think I did ride it at one point. But yeah.
Short-lived. Very
yes.
short-lived.
And so here is, you've got an Instagram wall with Mickey and Minnie here. And then there's no building here.
I really like this, though. I mean, considering you've had to have the background of this building, they had some fun with it. And Mickey's Toontown, really, to me, the coverage that we have here, this was my favorite of all. Here we have Mickey meeting, of course, in front of his house.
I love that they still have their Toontown. And so to be able to walk through Mickey and Minnie's house, even though we cannot do it here, and we haven't been able to for like 10 years now, I love that we can go there, just like Mr. Toad. We used to have the Mr. Toad attraction as well a long time ago, 20 years ago. And so it's nice to be able to still enjoy it.
And how perfect. Minnie is meeting in front of her house. One of my favorite Halloween memories ever was getting to trick-or-treat at all of their houses, to come right into Mickey's house, and then Mickey himself greets me, and then I get candy. How awesome. How awesome was that?
There's been a lot of good experiences.
In costume. And there is Donald Duck on his boat.
And Donald does not have a watering can, unlike Minnie.
But he has a fishing rod. See, he was
Yes.
fishing earlier. So, I should have probably put that clip in. But they all are doing something.
And then we'll see Goofy also has that watering can, although he drinks out of it.
Well, you will see. Goofy has been working very hard. He deserves the drink. First, though, we have Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale like to have some fun with Donald over the years. So it's a kind of a perfect fit that they ended up in his boat.
They have, just in Toontown, the amount of characters is really amazing. And kids and such can just kind of probably hang out in Toontown and enjoy seing the characters.
Never mind the kids. We can hang around.
Yeah.
It feels like they live there, though. They have a purpose. They're in their home. Oh, this is really fun.
But we have not seen Marie in Toontown before, and this was really fun. And she loves to pose and.
She reminds me of Gelatoni somehow, and I think you're about to see a sunflower come out.
Oh, that's right. She's like, look at my sunflower, look at my sunflower. But I was surprised to see Marie as part of it, because we've really not seen a lot of Marie at Disneyland. A little bit, but not on any regular basis.
But a great surprise, a great addition. She is always awesome. And as you mentioned, Disneyland Paris, it wouldn't be a visit to Disneyland Paris without spending some time with Marie.
Well, Marie, that is really her home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to be heading off to see Goofy now.
That's right. Here comes Goofy. Now, Goofy, as I mentioned, he has been working very hard cleaning up his area, raking. He's working up a real sweat. I have to give the guy credit.
And look at I didn't even notice before, the broom has like a Mickey Mouse on it.
Of course.
Did you notice that?
I did. So he's getting a little hot, so he is about to have a little drink.
I thought that was fun. I put that on my Instagram, just the little.
And this is a different angle
Yeah, it is
from the one
different.
you put on Instagram.
I really enjoy these. I just think they're super fun.
But he goes out of his way to make everything right for Pluto, who we did not see, by the way. I don't think Pluto was out, but he's getting Pluto's, redoing his water. He's getting his bone all set up. What a very nice Goofy.
But Goofy is also a dog.
I was
so,
just about to say that. It's an interesting dynamic there, isn't it?
Yes. Do they have matching? Does he get a bone too? Does Goofy get a bone? I don't know.
So, apparently this is happening all day, and sometimes nobody is even noticing this, So, and Goofy nonstop. He's really thirsty here, so he has to have another big giant gulp.
I thought that was funny, and it's almost like you're just watching them. So when I posted it, it's almost like you're looking in at their lives. And I don't know about the Halloween pumpkin, though. I don't know what that's about.
Well, I think that was just a regular. Oh, maybe it is a Halloween leftover from the Halloween season. Anyway, now we're going to move over to It's a Small World. You could see they are putting guests in the front and in the back of the boat. And depending on how big your party is, you might have your own boat.
I have not seen a lot of this. I have not seen yet, and I see this. Doesn't
it look beautiful? Don't you just want to be there?
I do. And this is the amount of guests, what we experienced last July, August or so, when the parks open here in Orlando.
And here is something that we have not seen for years. It
train.
is the train, the Disneyland Railroad, but of course we have a Walt Disney World Railroad.
Well, we have seen the Disneyland Railroad working in the last couple of years, but not ours.
That's my point, yeah.
Ours is 2.5 years down now, which is incredible, and I can't wait for it to come back. But we do have the People Mover back, and so that's something.
And here we are inside It's a Small World. Just a couple little scenes. We haven't seen this in so long, and it's very different than our version. I really do love seeing the Disney characters in It's a Small World. I know it was controversial when they made this change, but to me, I think it makes it nicer.
Well, everything's controversial when you make, changes to an attraction, or very often. So I actually have really liked how they incorporated the Disney characters as dolls. I thought they did a fantastic job with that.
And we have the Mad Tea Party. One of my favorite, probably my favorite tea party version anywhere is here at Disneyland. It's fully outside. Every other one we've seen has been enclosed.
And you can see the Casey Jr. in the background.
And you'll see the Matterhorn too as he goes around. There it is, which is closed, by the way, right now.
And again, I have another video. I haven't seen it. It just looks amazing. Disneyland doesn't always, that blue sky just looks fabulous.
Yeah, I love how so many things can be done outside because there's much less rain than we get out there.
And you're right. There's a lot of attractions, and also dining is outside is also a big thing there. It just doesn't get usually as hot as it does here in Florida.
And one of our favorite things to do, of course, is Casey Jr.
I love the Casey Jr. circus train. Now, this is a little different than the Disneyland version. The Disneyland version is
the
more
Disneyland
of a
Paris version.
Oh, sorry.
You mean
Disneyland Paris version is more of a coaster. This is more of a train, and so the other one is a little bit faster. But I just enjoy this. I enjoy the Fantasyland views and the Matterhorn views. Unfortunately, the
Storybook Land is not running currently because of the pandemic situation, but eventually that will be going again soon.
And we don't know. I don't know. Maybe you could have half as many guests on it, and they could maybe run it. I don't know. It's
I think just
outside.
because of capacity, it would have to be so low. It's probably not worth it. What if you could only put one party in a boat?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
But things are changing fast, so who knows? Now we're on the Disneyland Railroad, approaching New Orleans Square, and we're about to do something very unique at the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that's right. And one of the last times we were at Disneyland together, we got that cake. Remember the Haunted Mansion cake? The constant cake with the blood splatter.
So here we are. There is actually a special entrance at the Haunted Mansion. If you were chosen, if you were asked, would you like to take a alternate entrance? Unless you have never ridden, say yes, because you're going to go through this area that's never been opened before to guests, and they have it all nicely themed. And you
have to go down the stairs.
You have to go downstairs, but it's going to be my friend says it is much, much, much faster. You're saving lots of time. You don't go through the stretching room, but you pretty much get right on to where you're about to board. So it really cuts down. And they have much less capacity on the stretching room right now, again, because of the pandemic.
Well, he waited about 5 minutes instead of 30. And apparently you can't really ask for this. It's something that they really have to kind of come and say, do you want to do this entrance? And I don't know for how long this will be.
Right. I guess at this time we should just count it as limited time magic.
I think it's a fun little entrance, although I do like the stretching room there.
That's why I said if you've never been on, you should do it the normal way. But if you've been on lots of times, this is an opportunity to do something a little different.
And they have done some extra things with the Haunted Mansion, including some new drapes and carpet and wallpaper. And this is a portrait called April to December, where the young woman ages before your eyes.
And this was in the Haunted Mansion years ago, so it's nice to see it make a return, although in a different location. Right here, right as you're walking towards the Doom Buggies.
And also, while we're walking towards we're walking towards Pirates, I wanted to mention also about Haunted Mansion, the Pet Cemetery has added a few new pets. So here is, we're going to look at the boats for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right. This is our first opportunity to show the plexiglass here at Disneyland, and that's how they kind of separate the two lines for Pirates. And you're only getting two, they're filling up the front and the back of the boats like they used to do here at Walt Disney World, or one boat depending on the party size. But look at this. It's the Blue Bayou, completely empty.
Not
something
yet
you
open.
normally don't see because, they don't even have all the setups fully there yet. So it's an interesting view.
But hopefully the Blue Bayou will open soon. They are going to be serving alcohol. Only Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Oga's Cantina and Club 33 serve alcohol at Disneyland. But soon the Blue Bayou will be as well, including wine and champagne and some kind of like a hurricane cocktail. So that has been very big story on the site.
And that'll be very fitting. I think it'll be nice to try that.
I look forward to it.
Maybe by the time we get there, it'll be open and we can put that to the test.
I am hoping that it will be open.
And now it's towards the end of the night. There's a lot more that he did and we'll talk about, but due to time constraints, we're keeping this segment at about 20 minutes. But I wanted to show how beautiful it looks here on Main Street at the end of the night. And the saddest part of the visit, walking out of Disneyland. But the good news is it's still open, so you can go back.
Yeah. Well, yes, but no annual passes right now,
right.
so he is not going back yet.
Well, he was thankful that we got him a couple of tickets and he was able to enjoy some Disneyland and DCA while he worked hard getting all this great footage for us.
And when we go, we'll get the 5-day park hopper so we can kind of hop between the two parks.
And now we're hopping over to Universal Orlando Islands of Adventure. We had the chance to ride the VelociCoaster Passholder preview that you, Denise, had luckily saw right when it went on sale, and not on sale, it's free, but they put it as available. So we got the very first day at 10 o'clock, and here we are. It was delightful. It was uncrowded, and we were both very excited to ride the VelociCoaster.
Well, we only waited about 15 minutes, which is probably different than right now. Right now it's in soft opening, and that just started, I think, yesterday.
It looks like it's running about 75 minutes currently.
Wow. It officially opens on June 10th. And I'll give you a little facts and figures. 155 feet high, 140 foot drop, 70 miles an hour, 4 inversions, 2 launches, 360 degree barrel roll over the water, and it sounds like it's about 2 minutes long. We can't record it, so I don't know what the exact time is.
And what I like is they do have this test seat, and here we have our test seat model going in here, and I was a little concerned, but plenty of room, actually, room to spare, no problem fitting in the VelociCoaster seat.
And you can also check the size of your bag
right behind you. That's right.
Mm-hmm. But my bags, I needed
you had to get two
lockers.
And it's no problem if you need a second locker. You just ask, they'll give you a little card, and you can get the second locker.
At least for now, because if you have too many guests going through, they may not have that available. And they're double-sided lockers, meaning you don't want to do what I did and put your camera. Usually I'd put my camera on the other side so that it's cushioned. If you put your camera on the other side like I did, when you open the door, all of a sudden it's going to either fall out.
Put your breakables.
Mine didn't fall out, but it was close.
Right. Put your breakables in last. That's the bottom
line.
Yes,
or in the center. Just not, don't push them to the other side because then they'll come out.
And right after you go through the locker area, you're going to go through metal detectors. And I actually kept my glasses on because I have a tough time really seeing anything. I really wanted to see this ride. But let me tell you, halfway through, I was really worried that they were going to fly off. I mean, this is a really intense coaster. So I would get some kind of way to attach the glasses to your head or leave them in the locker. I mean, you don't want to bring anything extra at all on this ride.
And apparently, since this time that we were there, they have opened up a single rider line. And not only that, but Universal relaxed some restrictions, making it from 6 feet to 3 feet, which to me will be a little cramped in there, I think.
Might
so
be a
we
little
probably
tight.
won't be riding it again yet. But right here, I think that may be a real, and I'm not even sure, a real ride vehicle.
But I like how the Raptors are chasing the ride vehicle. I mean, this is a really fun, great effect that you have here as you're in the queue. I think this is one of the more interesting queues of any ride, certainly any roller coaster that I've been through. And as you progress through the queue, you're going to see some amazing animatronics right here around the corner.
And also, what we won't be showing, they have like Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. There's some of the queue that you don't see with that you can't videotape because that's
after the metal
security
detector. And you can feel the breath, by the way. When the dinosaurs here, when you're this close and they're breathing, you can feel their breath on your arms.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's very impressive. They are so lifelike. You could see them blinking. You can see them breathing. You don't have a lot of time because they really want to keep the line moving, and they have another raptor here on the other side. I don't know which one is which.
Well, there is Delta and Echo is the names of the raptors here.
So now this is the area that we had mentioned. We're about to have a very, very quick look at the locker area. And now we're going to talk about the ride. Now, you had your eyes closed for almost the whole ride, where I kept my eyes fully open because I really wanted to see. There's not a lot of dinosaur theming throughout the ride itself. You do go through all kinds of caves and things, but let me tell you, there is some serious airtime on this coaster. This is a serious coaster, but it's fun. You know, it's a great coaster. We rode from the front row, and I've been told if you ride from the back, you really get even more airtime.
I will never do the back on this because really you feel like you're coming out of your seat quite a bit. And even though they lock them down really good.
The lap bar.
Yes. I just was like, you don't want to feel like I wrapped my legs around the bar below me to, just in case, because it was like you really feel like you're coming out of your seat. And when you're upside down for a couple of seconds, it's not really, that's not my favorite part of the ride.
This is the part where you really feel like you're going to fly out, is when you crest that area.
That part was not, I don't know
Oh,
that
actually,
part right there.
And
but
over the
also,
water.
Yes.
That's when I thought I had lost my glasses. I actually had to reach up and push the glasses on, almost catch them, because I really felt when I was upside down over the water, they were going to go away.
Right here where they go upside down the barrel roll, that type of thing makes me nervous, where you feel like you're gonna to come out.
But I mean, it was a smooth, fun coaster. I think I would enjoy it much more the second time, when I'm not so worried about my glasses flying away. I mean, half the ride I realized I made a mistake and I should not have worn the glasses. So then I was just more concerned and not really fully enjoying it. But it really is fun. It's a fun ride.
It's really, it's going to be a very popular coaster here. There I am as I'm walking out, and
I should mention that it's only a lap bar. You do not have anything that goes over you, so you really do have that feel that you might fly out.
And
you're talking to
banks.
Banks. That's right.
I didn't even remember that I saw Banks in the queue. I remember seeing him outside, but I didn't remember that. So it was nice to see him. We haven't seen him in a little while.
That's right. And as you go through the queue, of course, you have an opportunity to buy a photo of you on the attraction. I was considering it, but because your eyes were closed and it wasn't the best of photos of myself either, I did not get the picture.
Maybe next time.
And it looks like it's really fun at night. Like, the lighting looks amazing at night. I don't know if you've seen any of it, but it looks fantastic. If not, you'll have to check it out.
And maybe we'll ride it, in the evening sometime.
I would like that. For the next ride, I'd like to do an evening ride. Although I'm sure it's going to be quite the wait to get on there.
Well, yeah, 75 minutes or so would be a long time. So we'll see. We'll see.
And of course, you exit through the gift shop. Anyway, I'm glad we got to do it because, as we just said, I think it's going to be a very popular ride this summer.
Hang time.
Hang time is right.
I'll probably do it like once more. I don't know if I'll do it much more after that for a while.
So anyway, that is another show. Thanks again to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
If you're looking to visit Orlando, this is a really nice summer to be able to do it. There's a lot going on, and Universal Studios and of course Walt Disney World. Check them out, and they are both. She stayed at Universal as well. They're Universal specialists and Walt Disney World specialists.
And let's not forget about the Disney, the brand new Disney Wish.
Disney Wish
next year, but I think they're going to be selling those soon, and it's going to be very popular, especially if you want the inaugural sailing.
And also Disneyland, which will be reopening to out of state probably very soon.
I will be right the first in line when that happens. I can't wait for us to go back to Disneyland, especially after seeing this footage.
It's hard to believe. I mean, we might be there next month.
I hope so. I hope so.
I want to stay at the Homewood Suites.
So why don't you tell us what we have going on this week?
I don't know. What do we have going on?
Well, there is a Raglan Road event.
That's true. There is
at Disney Springs.
You are doing that, and we are planning to go to Disney's Animal Kingdom and try to get into a celebration of Festival of the Lion King, which debuts really on May 15th, but they've already done some soft opening.
But that's great, the fact that we're having some live entertainment back. The only thing that's missing is the Tumble Monkeys act, which of course I did love them, but I mean all the things that you love from the show, including the fire juggler, which I always like him, all that will be
like
place.
The fire dancer.
Fire
right?
dancer. I guess I call him a fire juggler because he throws it all around and catches it. But yeah, he's one of my favorite parts of that show.
I mean, I don't know if there's other modifications as well. I haven't even studied into it. But it is considered a modified version, of course, with all the, less guests and such. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
But it's a step.
Yeah.
It's a step to the return of live entertainment. So I'm very happy about that. And then I guess we're looking at Disney's Hollywood Studios on Friday,
and maybe a little Epcot, depending on how we're feeling, on that day.
That's all about the Ronto Wrap. I look forward to that. It's been a while, much too long.
So, I mean, we have a lot that we've already done, though. We just went to Whispering Canyon Cafe, which was very nice. And so, I mean, we already have stuff.
We have a whole nother show that we could do right now if we really wanted to.
We could, yes. But I'm a little tired.
Yes. So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We will see you all next week. Today is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And again, we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.